So we're going to do some decals tips and tricks. I have done that before, but I know quite a few things. I don't exactly know how many I'm going to cover. I haven't made a script or anything, but I'm going to just go over a few things about decals that I really like and ways you can actually use them better than you are maybe using them right now. I said I wasn't going to make a video this week, but I really did want to try as I was sick yesterday basically, but today I feel pretty much fine, just having quite a bit of a cold, but I could deal with that. So for the first one, look at this. So I just have burn marks around engines. This is just a really simple one, and this one just makes a lot of sense really. There's pretty much what they're for, but I really haven't seen anyone do it yet. So, like, it's super subtle. Like, outside of build mode, you can barely see it, but it's there. And I think it's nice. Yeah, that's pretty much already that one, and, well, I did it on the F14, as you can see. I also watched Top Gun Maverick yesterday, so I'm all in that F14 mood. You know, that's what you get. A little thing I did here is like as you can see on the front. Oh, that's where you look forward. Yeah. So right there on the front, this looks pretty much like the real thing. Pretty much has this. So I think it's a nice detail to have. Next to that, you can use decals to make like the canopy a lot nicer. And for air intakes, because air intakes are pain to make without decals. So that's why I do it like that. I did the same on the F15, which I don't think I've shown this before, have I? Well, I made an F15. So yeah, you can see I did use decal, though it's quite subtle. I haven't actually done the burn marks, but I have done the formation flying lights in the front, which I'll show you in a minute how I have done that exactly. There's the bombs, by the way. You probably want to see that. I know that you do. Trailmakers players just really like bombs for some reason. Of course, with the landing gear and everything. How I made this. So, the lights themselves aren't decals, but the thing on top is actually the decal. So, the trick is, you make like a glowing shield, and then you grab a fairly large decal, and you put it over it, so it doesn't glow anymore, so you just get like one glowing bar. I think it looks a lot better than the other option, which is that thing. Yeah, I was really happy with how that turned out. More about this plane, like the flight controls are pretty meh, but it works. It's fairly fun to fly. So another trick which I have shown before, and I've used it mainly in like the 737 cockpit. As you can see, there's a lot of overlapping decals here, which normally you can't overlap decals. That's impossible. So what you do is you grab one of these big parts. You put like a decal on it. Let's just put like an eye on this. What if I want to like add something to it, right? I can't, because you can't overlap decals unless you do this. So I just layer it with like glass paints, which is just shield pieces colored with glass, and then I can just put like a decal on it. So I can have overlapping decals, and you know, it works fine. It's a little way look from the side, but it works. Which I will not take credit for that. It's not my trick. I did not come up with it. Oh yeah, another blueprint trick that just which is just great for any build. Like, if you make a race car or a jet or something, you're going to need, like, numbers on it, right? It just adds a lot. Like, it's just these subtle little things. Like, you'll barely notice them, but they're there, and even though you'll probably not notice them, they still make an impact, because you're going, like, it's another detail that you might miss, but, like, subconsciously you'll see it. Like, just don't cut corners, basically, but, like, right now, you can see it. It doesn't add too much, but it's a nice detail anyways. I really recommend just using numbers on all your builds, or, like just kind of like those small details. I've also used this thing as those tanker ports, so for refueling in the air. Like, it's just a bolt, which I just scaled up and put on there. But it works. What I could also do is actually put decals on the bombs. Would be a nice detail, right? With decals you can really go anywhere. Like this thing is actually packed full of them. If you look right here, this is a decal. Here's also a decal. The same for the other side. I have them right there, and I don't think I have any on the underside. I didn't put any on the wings. But another nice trick is doing this and scaling it up. Top view. You can make your wings look a little nicer. It's not perfect, but you can get rid of like the white line and the lights on top of the wing pieces if you'd want to. I usually don't really mind them too much, so it's I don't know, it might be worth the effort, but in all honesty it doesn't really matter. Like yeah, you can't go too much with decals. That's my biggest like tip. Like, spam them. just get as many on there as possible. Well, no, maybe not that much, but really go all out with them without it looking stupid. This one is absolutely full of decals. There's a lot of them, and it's fine. Like, it's not a problem at all, because it looks great. Even though there's a lot of decals, it's great. Like, you can really spam them without any problems. Now, it does differ per build, and I've just shown planes because that's what I do. I build planes, but obviously these tips don't go for everything. You might not want to spam decals on like a modern car, but even then you can do it in a subtle way, right? It doesn't have to be like contrasting colors and stuff. You can actually make some very solid details. Like, you can see right here, there's decals here on like the body. They just look like plates. Those are very subtle, and you might not notice them immediately, but they are there, and they add quite a bit, you know. You may not notice them instantly. That's alright. Another trick that I just I just remembered is mini thrusters. Like, they can't be painted completely, so if you just smack a decal on top of them, they look a lot better. It's not perfect. Like, you can still see some of the original coming through on the under, like right. Need a good example. You could, in a few spots you can see it, but like overall it's fine. Like, it just adds a little amount of detail where without it, the underside of this thing would absolutely look real ugly, actually. Yeah. But I have been building a little something right now, which is completely unrelated. But I have been building an SU-35. It's not great. It's really bad, actually. I don't know how to make this right. So, if you have any, like, ideas on how to improve this thing, tell me. The flight controls are also done by helicopter engines because I just can't get it to work. It's horrible. So if you have any ideas on how I can make this better, leave it down in the comments. But that's pretty much it. There's going to be a pain to edit, so I'm just going to say goodbye. Until next video. I don't know when I'll upload again. Might not be soon, might be soon. We'll see.